Welcome to Newslaundry Chhota Hafta. For the full episode, subscribe because it is behind the paywall and only subscribers get access to uncut, complete content. Newslaundry Hafta is our weekly wrap of all that made the news, all that didn't, and all that should have and all that shouldn't have. We agree, we disagree, we critique, and occasionally we beat each other up. But it's all good fun. Subscribe.
This is a Newslaundry podcast and you're listening to NL Hafta.
It is extremely cold. ठंड के मारे मेरा सर दर्द कर रहा है. दिल्ली के सब ही वासी बहुत ही मिजरी में ठिठुर रहे हैं. We will see if everybody around the table feels the same way. I can tell by Manisha's expression, she definitely does.
I love winters.
Chalo, Raman doesn't. But I'm Abhinandan Sekhri. This is the Hafta. We are back क्योंकि अंग्रेज अपना लगान और न्यूज़ लॉन्ड्री अपना हफ्ता कभी नहीं छोड़ते. When the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. Support independent media, pay to keep news free. There are just another few days of our special 25% discount on subscriptions. So Mufal Khors, this is your chance to become subscribers at a discount. With that, let me introduce my panel before we go over what we're going to discuss. We have Anand Vardhan here. Hi Anand.
Hello.
Are you as miserable in winter as I am?
No.
No.
I like winters.
You like winter? Okay, that's why he's smiling. Manisha?
I am totally cool with winters. I'm a pahadi.
You're a pahadi.
I'm built to take this.
When she's always sneezing and sniffling, and I'm a pahadi built to take this.
Maybe
my
she
ass.
doesn't like Delhi winter because Delhi
She
winter
says she
means
likes it.
हाँ वो pollution की वजह से sneezing. But I can take the cold.
Okay, fine. Meghnad?
I absolutely love winters.
You absolutely love winter.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
That's
from
because in
Nagpur.
Nagpur, they don't have winter.
They don't have
but
winters.
you have santra. You have santre ki barfi, santre
We have
ka.
RSS and we have Santra.
You have RSS and you have santra. Okay, but you don't have winter.
No, we don't have winter.
Raman sir?
I love winter.
Okay, you love winter. Anyway, on the panel is Meghnad, our regular columnist and the co-creator of Constitution. And joining us on the phone line, are you in Chennai right now or Bangalore? Where are you right now, Sudhir?
Hyderabad.
You're in Hyderabad right now. So, is T.S. Sudhir, as many of you know, he writes regularly for us as well as Huffington Post, First Post, Scroll. He has worked with all three mediums. He's worked with television, he's worked with print, and he's worked with digital. He's a scholar from Cardiff, and he's been a columnist, documentary filmmaker, and many other things. So, what about you, Sudhir? What are your views on winter?
Well, South we hardly have a winter. December and January are really the most pleasant months in the year, at least as far as Hyderabad is concerned. So we would in fact get into summer by end of January, soon after Republic Day. So Feb to May are not really months that one looks forward to. So this is the best time of the year that we can enjoy.
Okay, so I guess I'm the only one who's miserable. So what we'll be discussing is Rajinikanth's new party, Thalaiva, right? Thalaiva, isn't that right?
Yep.
Thalaiva. So those of you who curse us regularly for not having any experts from the South to talk about issues of the South, other than me, who's an expert Tamilian, but I'm not good enough for many of you with good reason. We have Sudhir, we'll talk a little about that. We're going to be talking about the triple Talaq bill. The Lok Sabha passes the bill by voice vote, and the Prime Minister says it will not be sent to a select committee. And then its fate hangs right now in the Rajya Sabha. Maybe Meghnad can shine some light on that. Then the protests in Maharashtra. You've obviously been hearing about the Bhima Koregaon violence. Is it a riot? Is it just lumpen elements setting stuff on fire? Is it more than that? I know Manisha has some views on that. Hopefully Anand will too. So Maharashtra's on boil and this violence has spread to more than one city. I'm not sure how often this has happened in the past. I can't recall such a widespread protest in the recent past at least. Related to this, there's a complaint against Jignesh Mewani and Umar Khalid for their alleged sparking the violence. What does the FIR say?
Inflammatory speech.
Inflammatory speech. Then the Kamala Mills fire in Bombay. Many of you must have seen that tragic scene of this mill catching fire which had a restaurant and there were 14 dead. The BMC's crackdown followed with 314 sites and 7 hotels sealed. In my view, it's all a crock of shit. Nothing's going to change there. Then Trump and Kim Jong-un spar over Twitter about whose nuclear button is bigger. Ow. Mera nuclear button bigger hai. Ow. And
Vote BJP ko jayega. Vote BJP ko
vote
jayega.
BJP ko jayega. There's a lovely joke related to that. And then Trump tweeted against Pakistan. Many say that that is only a tweet. It will not lead to anything more than that. And then there is a bill to replace the Medical Council of India. But more interestingly, there is a proposal which will allow homeopaths to also
Have a
practice
bridge course.
scientific medicine.
Yeah.
And some people are saying they should push the boundary and also make them, they should be allowed to do surgery as well. So that's interesting. Congress MLAs from Meghalaya resigned, 5 joined the BJP. So the BJP is making its inroads further from Assam, which they have already got. And Kumar Vishwas has been overlooked for Rajya Sabha. It has gone to 2 Guptas and Mr. Sanjay Singh, which has, in my view, really dented the Aam Aadmi Party's, the way they are looked at by those who are still sympathetic towards it. Bitcoin is not legal tender, says the finance ministry. And 2 very important stories. One is the breach of Aadhaar, which I'm sure Meghnad will have lots to talk about. And the second is the electoral bonds, which have been unveiled. We can buy them now?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So I actually, I'm still on the fence on that one. Let's see if Meghnad can tip me over.
Yeah, I will tell you about it, but yeah.
Okay. So let's start with Rajinikanth, since Sudhir has to leave us. Sudhir, I have 2 questions. One is, historically, I mean, at least in the last decade or so, is there any clarity? Has Rajni ever given a hint of where his politics lie? What issues are close to him? And second, will it be this big hoo-ha followed by nothing? What is your view?
Well, the first part first, not really. In fact, the closest he came to kind of get into politics was in '96 when he made that famous statement recorded by Sun TV that if Jayalalitha comes back to power in Tamil Nadu, even God cannot save Tamil Nadu. That was the line which was milked big time by both Karunanidhi and G.K. Mupnar, and the DMK Tamil Mandala Congress combined came to power. Subsequently, he has kind of always stayed away from politics, even though most of his movies, in fact, all his movies have always had some dialogues which are politically loaded, which are intended to show him in a good light. It was always almost as if he was just on the verge of entering politics, but he will decide when to come. So that was almost like titillating the audience, which would happen through his movies.
In
But
96,
to come to movies, he is not.
One
Sorry?
question. In 1996, when he made that statement about Jayalalitha, was he as big a phenomena as he is now?
Oh yes, in fact, in the 90s, where his movies did phenomenal business. In fact, from an Annamalai to a Muttu to a Padayappa to a Basha, all his big movies actually happened in the 90s. That was a period that he really became a big star in that sense. In the 80s was the late 70s, and the 80s was the period when he was constantly in competition with the Kamal Hassan. In 90s was when he really emerged as a superstar, though he got that sobriquet in 1978 itself. Subsequently, he would always kind of take some kind of a position on where his loyalties lie during the elections. For instance, in 98, he continued to back the DMK-TMC alliance. That was not seen to be a right decision because the AIDMK actually won 30 out of the 39 seats. In 2004, he backed the BJP-AIDMK alliance only to see the DMK-led alliance sweep the elections. So what I mean to say is that it's not as if Rajinikanth's political acumen has been very sharp. Barring 96, in both 98 and 2004, he actually backed the wrong horse, which is why one wants to kind of, the point that I'm trying to make is that it's not as though Tamil Nadu has always followed Rajinikanth, whatever he has said that I want to, I'm backing XYZ guys, so the whole of Tamil Nadu goes and backs that XYZ
just one
candidate
question,
or party.
Considering
that has not happened.
Yeah, considering Jayalalitha wasn't someone to be pushed around and was fairly vindictive, after him saying that, there were no consequences. Amma did let him be, let him live. I mean, in peace.
No, see, 96, she was a very unpopular person in any case because of the kind of autocratic and corrupt rule that she had indulged in between 91 and 96. So 96, she was an extremely unpopular person. Also, there were bombs which were hurled at Mani Ratnam's house, something which Rajinikanth had criticized in public, which Jayalalitha made it clear she did not like that criticism and actually dropped the minister who was present on stage when Rajinikanth actually criticized the AIDMK government. So the relations between Jayalalitha and Rajinikanth are pretty bad. In fact, since both of them were neighbors in Poise Garden, just a couple of lanes apart, every time she was exiting or entering Poise Garden, the entire area would be barricaded, and there is a famous incident about Rajinikanth not being allowed to enter because the traffic had been stopped for half an hour by the traffic inspector for the chief minister. And there is a famous incident about how he got out of the car and went to a small shop, bought a cigarette and started smoking, and then there was a huge crowd, and that created a much bigger commotion which the traffic police could not handle.
Where was I? So he must have thrown the cigarette up in the air.
Yeah.
Indra-minded.
So, between 91 and 96, there were many instances about Jayalalitha versus Rajinikanth and the whole Poise Garden neighborhood clash, which were kind of, quite hitting the headlines at that time in Chennai.
I see. So there is a chance that his stardom may not translate to votes, as you said, has happened in the past.
But so
it may not. I mean, it's not as though Rajinikanth has entered, and therefore everything will. He will sweep the election. That is not likely to happen. Whether it is only for now and then it may fizzle out, we never know. If you just to take the example of Kamal Hassan, his last political tweet was on November 30th, and after that he has taken almost a 5-week absence, and today he has put out a political tweet. You cannot have politicians. You cannot have politicians like Rahul Gandhi, frankly. So, and already Kamal Hassan is being referred to as another Rahul Gandhi, taking a month-long break because he wanted to finish his movie. That cannot happen in the age where people expect 24/7 politicians.
So I have 2 questions. Hi, I'm Meghnad. I have 2 questions.
Yes.
One is, you pointed out how, Tamil Nadu has never sort of followed Rajinikanth's political leanings, etc. But was it also because there were alternatives, and at this point of time there is a void because Amma is no more there and DMK is on a downfall? So will that change any equations there? Also, the second question being about Kamal Hassan and Rajinikanth. So, is it going to be that, when say Rajinikanth supports a particular party, Kamal Hassan will go the opposite way? Is it like a foregone conclusion?
The first part, firstly, I don't think Rajinikanth would have entered politics if Jayalalitha was still alive, or if Karunanidhi was still in the best of health. I don't think he would have. So when he says that, there has been a lot of corruption in Tamil Nadu and talking only about the first year, I think he's not really speaking the truth, because political corruption has been a way of life in Tamil Nadu for years. There is this famous Tirumangalam by-election of 2009 that is almost spoken of as some kind of a benchmark in Tamil Nadu politics. So it's not something new that has happened in R.K. Nagar. Of course, R.K. Nagar took it to an entirely new level where 20 rupee notes were given. In fact, even today, if you go to R.K. Nagar, people are keeping 20 rupee notes very, very carefully, because that's what they need to produce to make it that 20 rupees can become 10,000 rupees if you produce it to the right person. So they are waiting for the 20 rupees to be converted. So political corruption, electoral corruption is a way of life in Tamil Nadu. Same was the case even during the 2016 elections. So when Rajinikanth says that, I've come to change everything, he's not really speaking the truth. So what he's entering now is at a time when there is a vacuum.
Yeah, vacuum.
But the vacuum is not that of parties between DMK, because the DMK, the AIDMK still exists. It's essentially a personality vacuum that is there in Tamil Nadu at this point in time, because Tamil Nadu, from MGR, from Karunanidhi and from Jayalalitha's time, has always been used to this larger-than-life tall personality ruling them. So will Rajinikanth be that tall personality fitting into the shoes of a cult figure is a question that Tamil Nadu will need to answer. Whether he'll really have the wherewithal to actually do that.
Okay, thank you so much, Sudhir.
Thank you.
For your time.
Thank you.
And we'll hope to see you in Delhi sometime soon. Don't come in the winter.
Okay.
It's horrible.
Thank you.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay.
Right.
Okay, I'll come to an email, but before I come to the email, I would like to add that this podcast is produced by Shubham. Thank you, Shubham, and recorded by Anil. Thank you, Anil. I have been told that I am not acknowledging the producer and the recorder these days. My bad. Also, we have another few days for our offer of 25% off. So do subscribe at a discounted rate and get some additional goodies. Now, the email I'm going to read is from Kishore. Hello team, especially Abhinandan, you commie, just like we are Madrasis. See, he got my Madrasi joke. I got so much of hate mail and hate tweets after saying that, how do you call all of us Madrasi? Anyway, Kishore, I'm glad you have a sense of humor. You'll be surprised how many fucking people have a stick up their ass and not a sense of humor. You claim Tamil pride, despite the fact that you can't construct 2 consecutive words in Tamil and don't know the difference between Telugu and Kannada. You said chill Madi, which is Kannada, and you pointed at people of Andhra. You got me, partner, you got me. I really wonder how none of you can ever understand the RK Nagar election despite reading news. Or is it so that the Bhai Log media have not understood it either and south of Madrasi is out of their syllabus? I think it's the latter. I don't think they are interested or have understood it. So first things first. Sasikala is not smart as Abhinandan thinks she is. Did I suggest that she's smart? Did I?
Don't know.
Maybe. She is just a servant of Jaya who aspired to be CM and is spending her time in jail. TTV Dhinakaran is her protege and he and the people who supported Sasikala were expelled from the party. Meanwhile, the AIDMK party is run by OPS and EPS after 2 factions united. Initially, there were 3 factions of ADMK, which is OPS camp, EPS camp and Sasikala camp. The RK Nagar election was big because of 2 reasons. Initially, the case about which of the 3 camps takes the 2-leaf symbol, and the by-election was initially cancelled because of bribing voters, which incidentally happened by the local reports. Up to 100 crores was spent, my God. Madhusudan, the ADMK party candidate, was long-time loyalist and his son, and his loss is huge because now TTV promises that he will be the party president because he won the election. Incidentally, one day after your recording, ADMK has suspended 44 leaders who supported TTV. So it's safe to say that if you guys like entertainment, follow TN politics because nothing comes as close to even Abhinandan's supposed mockery of the Madrasi. Thanks and regards, Kishore. Thanks, Kishore. If what you're saying is true that 100 crores was spent in the RK Nagar election, if any of you in RK Nagar are listening to this podcast, we have a special rate for subscription a few days. And since you have some disposable income handy, I'm rumors कह रहे हैं कि आपके पास कुछ ज़्यादा पैसा है, तो थोड़ा independent media में भी पेल दो. Long run में you will all benefit more than whoever wins. So coming to the electoral bonds, Meghnad, for those of you context, electoral bonds is this new instrument that the finance minister has floated, which can be bought I think from next week onwards, if I'm not wrong. You can, so basically it's a way of getting white money into politics as opposed to black money. And the reasoning behind it is you can only buy it from banks, so therefore you have to, give a check or draft or whatever. So you get it through white money and then you give it to the political party you want and they can go cash it. So it remains anonymous. So no one knows who's given to which party, which is one of the problems that Aam Aadmi Party claimed they had, that all the people who were giving them money, there was a crackdown from the government. So now that anonymity theoretically can be maintained. And B, white money will enter politics and not black money. So that is the reason for electoral bonds. Puncture the holes in this.
So, okay, so you have to understand how this electoral bonds work, right? Again, as you said, it's an instrument. So it's a currency which can be used only by political parties. It's valid for 15 days. So you, Abhinandan Sekhri, goes to SBI, buys a bond. You get a bond without your name on it, just a serial number. And you that bond, you can take and give it to, say, Aam Aadmi Party, because it's your favorite party, right? And you give it to Aam Aadmi Party and... they
don't need it, baby. They got Gupta ji.
They go to Aam Aadmi Party takes that bonds to SBI again and redeems it, right? What is happening is SBI is acting as a mediator here. So nobody's name comes out. Aam Aadmi Party says got electoral bonds on their account books. You say gave electoral bonds on your account books, right? So there is no name revealing happening here. You're right when you say that the bond can only be bought by DD, check or bank transfer, right? So only white money can be used to buy it, right? But here you have to understand that even though this whole transaction is happening with white money, the anonymity is a question. Right?
Okay.
Because you as an industrialist or someone might be giving that money to lobby. Because ये law pass करवाना है, वो law pass करवाना है.
In which case I wanted to be known कि देखो सर मैं आपको 10 करोड़ दे रहा हूँ.
या तो तुमको पार्टी को पता है कि तुम दे रहे हो, but public को नहीं पता है. So whenever a law is made by a party, people will not know why the hell they are making that law for who.
So that transparency.
That is a problem, right? The second thing that is problematic here is that you are giving to Aam Aadmi Party. The BJP can still find out because SBI is owned by the government, right? So they will find their ways to find out which serial number went from who to who. Right, so that party, BJP, will
it's not
definitely.
Blockchain. It's not end-to-end encrypted.
No, they definitely
The bond
have
will
an
not
advantage.
self-destruct.
So with this bond, I can't make any money. My money will just go to the party.
Yeah, I mean it has to be, but it's an instrument, so you can give it to any party. It doesn't have to be. It won't have like Aam Aadmi Party written on it or BJP.
You're saying it can be used as a bribe. It can be
it can be used as anything.
Which is, in any case, right now also people give checks to the party, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you see किसी ने 10 करोड़ दिए, किसी ने राजीव चंद्रशेखर ने I think 6 करोड़ दिए था, दोनों को NDA UPA दोनों को दिए थे.
Hedging किया था.
तो he hedged दोनों को. I think it would have been a lot more useful, and I would have found it a lot more, credible. Had by electoral bonds said this is the only way you can give to politicians.
Absolutely.
Because right now 2,000 rupees के नीचे आप फिर भी दे सकते हो. And almost like I don't know how many 100 crore of their money comes from cash क्योंकि बैठ के आप रिसीट काटते रहो और अब काला धन वैसे ही आ रहा है.
20,000 के नीचे.
नहीं अभी 2000
हो गया ना पहले. But the only difference is now पहले अगर आप 1 लाख रिसीट बना देते अब 10 लाख बना दोगे. आप जब 4 इंटर्न को बैठ के रिसीट कटवा दो, मतलब काला धन तो वैसे भी आ सकता है ना. तो
That's what Mayawati.
हाँ, sorry.
No, that is the thing that very a small window of digital trace, as they say, digital trace, where banks have to fulfill the KYC norms. If you are depositing money, they will go through KYC. They can still have trace the money through digital trace, what they say. So the government being the prime stakeholder in SBI, the party in governance would
find out anyway.
Yes, and the counterintuitive logic is that it may actually make electoral bonds fail because people will still prefer anonymity. Because there is a slight danger of digital tracing them.
Right.
So they will prefer anonymity and do under 2,000 transaction, and cash should still be the prime means of donation.
Yeah.
सुन लिया अफ्रीका मुफत खोरों. Not to brag or anything, but Newslaundry Hafta features in the top 50 in the world on SoundCloud in the news and politics category for podcasts. So do subscribe and see what you're missing. Because when the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. Subscribe, help keep news independent and free. All Newslaundry podcasts are available on iTunes and Stitcher and any other podcast platform.